In every age, societies create myths. In every city, people dream of figures larger than life, protectors who embody the values they hope to see in themselves. In the 21st century, that role belongs to the superhero. They leap across cinema screens, flood comic pages, and dominate the imagination of billions. But behind the capes and costumes, there lies a deeper truth. Superheroes are modern mythology, reflecting the fears, struggles, and aspirations of our time. The reason people love them is not only about spectacle, it is about something hidden within the human condition. The roots stretch far deeper than Hollywood, long before Superman first soared in 1938. Long before Batman prowled Gotham's shadows, ancient civilizations told stories of figures who defied limits. Gilgamesh, the mighty king of Uruk, carved into clay tablets over 4,000 years ago, was half divine, half mortal, searching for eternal life. In Greece, Heracles bore strength beyond men, cursed and redeemed through trials that mirrored the struggles of everyday Athenians. In India, the Ramayana told of Rama, an avatar of Vishnu, whose sense of duty shaped kingdoms. These were not entertainment alone. They were guides, explaining life's dangers, triumphs, and moral lessons in a way people could grasp. Superheroes are their heirs. By the late 19th and early 20th century, industrialization and global war reshaped human life. Technology redefined what was possible, but fear grew alongside wonder. Cities expanded, crime followed, nations battled, and ordinary people felt powerless. Out of this world came superheroes figures like Superman, created by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, children of Jewish immigrants who watched America wrestle with depression and looming war. Superman was the fantasy of strength in the face of injustice, the immigrant who concealed himself in plain sight, the man who could protect when governments and armies failed. Batman, born from the grief of Bruce Wayne's orphanhood, reflected a darker truth, that justice sometimes came not from the system, but from the shadows of trauma. As the Second World War erupted, superheroes became rallying figures. Captain America, first drawn in 1941 by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby, famously punched Adolf Hitler on the cover of his debut issue. This was no coincidence, it was propaganda wrapped in myth, a way to give readers hope that evil could be confronted directly, with courage and conviction. For soldiers, these heroes were reminders of what they were fighting for. For children, they were promises that someone was strong enough to face the chaos of the world. But after the war, the appeal deepened. Superheroes did not remain frozen in victory. Instead, they began to reflect the anxieties of their times. In the Cold War, characters like Iron Man embodied both the power and danger of science. Spider-Man, created by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko in 1962, was not a god, not a billionaire, but a teenager juggling homework, rent, and guilt. His struggles reminded readers that even extraordinary power did not remove ordinary pain. When he said, "With great power there must also come great responsibility," he gave voice to a universal truth, one that transcended the page. The hidden reason people love superheroes is not only escapism, is recognition. Beneath the masks, these figures reveal our collective fears, fear of power abused, of being abandoned, of losing loved ones. They reveal our dreams of justice, of courage, of belonging. Every era reshapes them because every era demands new answers. In the 1970s, heroes began to tackle issues like drugs, corruption, and civil rights. In the 1980s, darker interpretations, like Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns, or Alan Moore's Watchmen, questioned whether heroes themselves could become tyrants. The audience, grappling with Watergate, nuclear fear, and disillusionment, found reflection in those shadows. Sympathetically, the 21st century has transformed superheroes into global mythology. Marvel's cinematic universe, beginning in 2008 with Iron Man, built interconnected sagas rivaling the epics of Homer. Audiences cheered not only for battles, but for relationships, for Tony Stark's redemption, for Steve Rogers' integrity, for T'Challa's regal dignity in Black Panther. These characters gave representation where myths had once been narrow. Children of every background could finally see themselves in the costume, standing for something larger than life. Psychologists argue that superheroes fulfill a profound human need, the desire to believe in saviors, yet also in the possibility that greatness lies within anyone. Joseph Campbell's idea of the hero's journey runs through every story, from exile to trial to transformation to triumph. Superheroes are living versions of that timeless cycle. When audiences watch or read them, they see not only the hero, but their own potential, their own resilience, their own courage tested in daily life. And still, there is more. In times of crisis, superheroes thrive because they give shape to chaos. After September 11th, 2001, films like Spider-Man and The Dark Knight reflected the trauma of cities under attack. The question of how far one should go to fight terror and whether hope could survive fear. Batman's struggle with surveillance, Superman's clash with godlike responsibility, the Avengers' civil war over freedom and security. These were not just stories, but mirrors held to the dilemmas of our age. Why do people love superheroes? Because they are reminders of resilience, because they are allegories of justice, because in them weakness and strength coexist. Clark Kent, the humble reporter, becomes Superman not to rule but to serve. Peter Parker suffers loss, yet still chooses to save others. Wonder Woman, rooted in Greek myth, declares that only love can truly save the world. These words are not fantasy, they are lessons dressed in myth. The aftermath of every superhero story leaves the same echo, that in the face of overwhelming darkness, there is always a choice. Humanity sees in these figures both the danger of unchecked power and the beauty of sacrifice. Audiences leave the theater not merely entertained, but reassured that courage, however fragile, can still prevail. Their legacy will endure. Just as Homer's epics survived centuries, just as medieval legends of King Arthur still enchant, superheroes will outlast their creators. They are woven into the very fabric of modern culture, shaping language, art, and identity. In schools, in comic shops, in streaming services, the myth lives on, growing with each retelling. To dismiss them as childish is to miss the point. They are the modern campfire stories, the shared dreams of humanity. And today, when a child wears a cape, when a crowd cheers as the hero rises from defeat, they participate in a tradition as old as civilization itself. The hidden reason people love superheroes is because, deep down, they tell us who we aren't, who we long to be. This episode is the result of hours of research, writing, and a dedication to bring history and culture alive through storytelling. If you found value in this journey through myth and meaning, consider supporting the effort, so that high-quality historical storytelling can continue to shine a light on the past and on the truths hidden within our present.